our problem is nobody's moving in. I don't live there. My junior vice commander doesn't live there. My past commanders don't live there. And we have to have representation there to rent the hall. So we were at a crossing point. My adjutant has resigned. I cannot get anybody to step forward to be some of these office holders. And this is the problem we're facing. We have participated in this past year in the Pearl Harbor ceremony at Wesley Bowling Park. I was standing behind our department commander, so I didn't get photographed.
Yes, you did.
It's not anywhere in the book.
Oh, we've got, I saw it and we've got it, and it's all three of us.
Well,
my daughter got all three of us.
Yes, well, it
With
didn't
somebody.
make the Jewish news. I know that.
But, okay, there is one thing.
but
He puts
there-
in a lot of pictures, and they pick the picture anyways.
But we participated in that. We participated in the ceremony there at Sun Lakes. And we have unfortunately been engaged in one of our most aggressive activities, and that has been honor guard and pallbearers at 4 different funerals in this past year.
Well, that's your group.
No,
That's fantastic.
but the problem is that's going to continue, and we have no replacements coming in. We are having our 25th anniversary celebration coming up. First, we have to elect new officers and install them, and then on the 7th of April, we are having our celebration. And it too is similar to what has been described. Invitations have gone out, people are sponsoring tables, people are representing their organizations, and hopefully it will put us on the map there. But, yes, but unfortunately, doesn't get new Jewish people moving into the community. The executive committee voted before I came in not to relocate to the Jewish Community Center. They don't want to travel to the Jewish Community Center. So that too was a problem. Namely, it would have cost us more to meet there on Sunday than we're paying at Sun Lakes. And of course, Shabbat was the only other opening they had. And our group did not want to go there at that time. Yes?
It sounds a little silly. Is there any way, since you have to have someone who lives in the community, is there any way that you can, I'm sure that there's Jewish people there who are veterans, even if they don't want to be involved, but is there any way you could gift someone a membership so that you could?
We do.
We do, and we've tried.
Oh, okay, so that person would then be the quote-unquote sponsor or something like that.
But in spite of all this negativity, and it's not negativity, actually, that Leo described, in the past year, our financial support, and we've given a lot of money.
Can't hear you back here.
We've given a lot of money to a lot of different veterans' requirements. In the past year, our financial support efforts have concentrated on helping homeless veterans find permanent or transitional housing. In the past year, Valor on 8th, which is a unit in Tempe for veterans, women veterans, we have given.
People back here, turn around.
I'm trying to address
You
everyone.
go up to the microphone.
Please, there is no microphone.
There's a microphone.
Please, let me finish. Valor on 8th, a very good enterprise for women veterans. In October of last year, we've given to the U.S. Vets with Michelle Jamison heading it up for us. In December, we've given to Project Veterans Pride, the James Walton House that Gabe has talked about. Dr. Christine Gershoot addressed us. And this coming week, next week, Ms. Paula Selby will address us. Help for veterans for mortgages. So you see, our concentration is to help homeless veterans. And this has gone on for the past several years, in spite of our lack of a permanent base and lack of membership. So we're doing what we can. And hopefully this April 7th celebration will be an input for us to continue. I'm sorry, David, I had to say that.
Leo, I just had one thing I wanted to add to what your post is doing. You have had put out information that your post was able to give out $34,000 from the money you raised last year.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other post here that was able to do that in the Department of the Southwest. Now it's officially in the records, and I wanted to personally thank you and everyone in your post. That is amazing, something really fantastic.
But it's going to go away unless we can get more members.
Can't help it, they're back there.
So I am eager to go to my next meeting and find out who the nominating committee is supporting for our new election. Tune in tomorrow for the next exciting episode.
Thank you very much. As we're still talking about old business, Jerry, do you have anything you would like to add from the publicity committee?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Microphone. Thank you, Post 194, for sponsoring this event.
We can't hear you, Jerry. Use the mic. You start up with us one more time. Cut you right off.
He was already cut off once.
And keep it short.
That's been happening already.
Thank you, Post 194, for sponsoring this event. You're doing a great job. A couple of news items before I get into the publicity. One is that the IDF is going to be here sometime in February. I think it's February 11th. Anybody hear about that? No. The IDF is supposed to be with the general, the colonel, and about, I think they're going to be at the JCC February 11th. Let's all hold me to it. You hear about it?
Is that the Jewish National Fund fundraiser?
The IDF, I don't know
I know
about
the difference.
the JN. Huh?
Is that microphone
I know the
working?
difference.
No.
That's the difference, though.
That's
It's the
You
IDF.
can't be heard in the back.
Okay. Right now.
The IDF. I don't know about the JNF, but the IDF.
That's the Israel Defense.
My fault.
Oh, that's true. Hearing aid.
No.
Getting feedback.
Now you're good. Go ahead.
These are compliments to the Blinded Veterans Association, of which I'm a member, and anybody else want to be appointed. For your glasses, for your TV, for your iPhone, and so forth. You don't need any liquid. Okay, there's another news item that came over the internet. The Ayatollah went to a fortune teller. The fortune teller told him he's going to die on a Jewish holiday. He said, what day will that be? The fortune teller said, the day you die will be a Jewish holiday. Everybody. Right? It's got to be Besimcha. Right? Besimcha. But now with the publicity. Lenore and I have been out there, and you talk to people, there's more Jewish people out there that are not affiliated, and you know. So we're out there, and we're getting ads for our newsletter. We have 5 subscribers now, and one of them told us about this radio program, and it's 1100 a.m. and it's 11 o'clock on Friday. This man will be glad to interview us. I think his name is Gebhardt. I think he's Jewish. But anyway, he's supposed to interview us about JWV, publicity. So the question is, do we want to do it on a department level or a post level? Anybody have any suggestions? You know what I'm talking about? No?
We have to call to arrange.
They haven't scheduled,
It's
so
11
it's
o'clock
just, it's
on
whenever
Friday
we can.
morning.
I can't.
Every Friday.
What was the interview?
Can you speak louder, please?
Who was the interviewer?
Who is the guy again? What's his name?
Well, no, he's got another name, Desert Diamond or
Like
whatever
Bobby
he's called.
Boy, something like that, he's got a double name.
I have information if you want when,
I
I'll
mean,
give it over to you.
is he with the radio station?
on
It's
the
radio,
radio.
1100
Every Friday
AM, and the interview will take place on a Friday at 11 AM. So it's, so far as publicity is concerned. Any other questions about that? You want to do it on a department level, or you want to do it on a post level? What's your pleasure?
I'll tell you where's the place?
I'll call up and find out.
The radio place? I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's FN, KFNN. It used to be owned, I don't know, so there was a Jewish guy owned it. It was a financial station, that's why. 1100,
Familiar with the station?
Do you remember the name of the station and what number?
Yeah, he did.
He said
It's
1100.
1100.
He said
That's an
1100.
AM station.
I'm looking for the
1100.
I'll go.
11 AM, KFNN, KFNN. K is the west of the Mississippi, F, Financial News Network, FNN.
Jerry,
So we're gonna do it at the department level, okay?
I'll go down.
The other thing we've been doing is, we've been to Jewish establishments beside the temples, beside the synagogues, the schools. We've gone to the restaurants. There's several restaurants in metropolitan Phoenix and Scottsdale, and we are delivering forms, membership forms.
Yeah.
So far we've been successful. We've gotten 4 new members. One we have to pick up a check from Sinai. He joined our post, 194. So if there's anything else that I can share with you about publicity, this is what we're doing. We're out there, you wear your maybe not these caps, but we have a mug and doublet on our baseball cap. And people see the Jewish Star and they talk to you. Some are interested, some are not. Anything else? Huh? No questions?
Yeah, Jerry and I, we go out and we wear our hats, so a lot of people know who we are now because we present ourselves. And we are getting ads and we're getting contributions and we're making sure people know we're here. And we drive all over town and talk to people and represent us. We wear our hats, so they know we're here. Because we're not gonna let them forget us.
As long as we're still talking about old business, the quartermaster is not here. We have, as of January 1st, 2019, we have $21,667.02. In the month of December, we wrote 3 checks for a total of $175. It mostly had to do with transportation needs.
Going back to 194's report. 194 in December ran a Hanukkah party at the CLC unit. You forgot to mention. Huh? You didn't say it. Anyway, we had a fairly decent attendance, but the amount of Jews were 3, the ones who came from post 194. Jerry, myself, and Lee. That was it. All the rest were going. They had a taste of Hanukkah. Greasy and cold. But it was a good party. And
Did
they
you have donuts?
Huh?
Did you have jelly donuts?
Yeah, we had everything.
And we
We had
did
donuts,
Okay.
sour cream, yeah, latkes, sour
Oh,
cream,
yes.
applesauce, and there was pretzels, cookies, cakes.
I'm sorry, Mr.
I am too, couldn't do the work. Anyway,
Quite often when we go for the holiday, the non-Jews come because we get maybe 2 Jews around to come to the parties, and the rest aren't, and the guys come up and say, we love this holiday, we love latkes, and they're not Jewish, but they bring the gang down because they get their latkes, and they know who we are, and we have a chance to visit with them, so the latkes are the secret, how we're getting to our people. Yes.
Lou, you said that was the CLC?
yeah, CLC.
That's like the nursing home? or
Yeah.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in residence there during rehab one time. Hey, they do a terrific job, all of the girls and the guys, from the top to the bottom. The only thing I didn't like was I couldn't go home and do my own rehab, because I was too far ahead of them. But that's the way life is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go on to new business, is there any other old business to bring up? All right, one of the most important parts of this meeting is to give the nominations for officers for next year. Talking with our members today, our officers today, Murray Baker from Tucson has agreed to be the new commander if elected. He's not here today because he just had a hip replacement, but he said he is willing to accept the post. He said he needs my help up here as a chief of staff. It's a non-elected position, so I would help him. We do not have someone, no one has stepped up to be the senior vice commander at this point, so I'm asking, are there any volunteers from the floor for senior vice commander for the Department of the Southwest?
I thought Lee was going to be senior
No,
vice.
I'm not gonna take that position this year. I'm on overload right now. I'm on overload. I do a lot of.
All right, we're going to leave that blank. Lee will continue as junior vice commander.
So what's the difference?
Mort Husky has volunteered to be their judge advocate. He has replaced,
Jesse Gerstein.
thank you, Jonathan Sorrell, who I forgot to invite to the meeting personally, will continue as our quartermaster.
That's not a long position.
And to the National Executive Committee, I am nominating Rochelle Heyman for post 210 to be our representative of the National Executive Committee. These are the people we're proposing for the officers for next year. If there's anyone else in your post that would be interested in running for an office, yes, Howard.
Can you describe the responsibilities of the senior vice commander, please?
The biggest and hardest is to fill in for the national commander. You have to conduct a meeting. But as it works in the past, for the next 2 years, if you're senior vice commander, in 2 years you're elevated to commander. Thank you very much. Yes.
Senior vice has to do with Ways and Means, junior vice is membership.
Okay. That's the easy way to put it.
Michael, announce his name. Announce his name.
Howard, what's your last name?
Farkas.
My name is Howard Farkas, F-A-R-K-A-S-H.
Thank you.
Hungarian style.
194.
Thank you very much. That fills our slate. Is there any other new business? Yes, Leo.
This is the month of Stand Down. Stand Down will be held at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum on the 24th and 25th of this month. And they check their website. They are looking for volunteers to help out. Gabe and I will be there again, and several other, you'll be there. I'll be working in registration. Yeah, I think Sandy Schmaltzbach will be working with the women's veterans. But, it's a meaningful thing to do for these veterans.
And it's personally satisfying.
And last year, I believe they had over 1,500 homeless veterans show up and ask for services. It's quite a meaningful thing. The courts will be there, the auto club will be there, the Veterans Administration will be there.
Veterinarians also there.
Right.
Veterinarians also.
Veterinarian,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
if a
And
vet
barbers.
comes in with a
Barbers
pet,
too, yes.
there's a veterinarian to take care of their pets. We have the big, heavy motorcycle guys to guard their valuables. A lot of interesting things. Dental was oversubscribed last year, and I hope they're
Yeah.
as well prepared this year. So, if you know of any homeless veterans, steer them that way. Yes.
Also, they have a place to take care of the children.
No,
Yeah.
they do not.
They're not gonna do it this
There's no
year?
child care.
Oh, I was told they were,
They used to.
they cancel it?
There are other things. They will serve a meal to homeless veterans. They do have bunks set up for homeless veterans if they
Not
want to
this
stay
year.
the
They
night.
don't have
Huh?
overnight
Not this year.
services this year. They stopped the overnight services this
Oh,
year.
really? Separate place for women to process through?
They don't have anything available. What they're gonna do is emergency house anybody who's really in dire straits. But a lot of the folks that came were using it as kind of a reunion. And so it was more of a luxury than a necessity, so they're parsing that out now. But not on the sites as the liabilities to crime.
Okay, but
Gabe is,
Leah, thank you very much for mentioning it.
Gabe, who just spoke, is in charge of the women's section, so she's speaking from knowledge.
yes.
And she's been running this for a long time, while we're here all day, she does a hell of a good job. And we appreciate what she does, because not many people do as much as she does.
Thank you.
And
Yes,
you heard
Nelson.
it from
The website has been totally rewritten in WordPress. In order to see it very well, I suggest you use Chrome, the browser Chrome. Because I know there's a little problem with Firefox on one particular part. Now, to move around, you go by hitting on whatever looks like a button. Anyways, to back up, you hit the back button up on top. If you have problems, you can call me and I'll explain it to you.
I went on the site, I had absolutely no problem navigating.
Well, you're a genius.
Far, far from.
Anyways,
Finish a cup.
I do need, when you change officers, your complete list of officers. Now, in order to put it on, take a look at what is on there now. And I need every bit of information. Yes.
I would like to respectfully suggest is that only phone numbers and not home addresses are on there.
I'm sorry, what?
I humbly suggest from a safety standpoint that only phone numbers are there, email addresses and phone numbers, not home addresses of people. From
Well,
a
there's
security
a-
perspective, I can just tell you, for me, you would never have my home address. My husband does prison chaplaincy. There is no way that I would put my home address on.
Okay, Rochelle.
It's not, it's for a safety perspective.
The thing is that we have had a website maybe about 6, 7, 8 years already, and there has been no problems.
What I would make a suggestion to each post, past experience, and what she's been reiterating, each post should get a burner phone that's dedicated to your commander. The commander then passes it down to the next commander. It should be paid for by the post itself, unless the commander wants to pay for it and donate it to the post as a gift. This way you have no security problem. You won't be getting, you can clear your calls, you have the same number for year after year, even though it's a different person. And this way, you'd have a lot more clarity. You don't have, if you got a post office box for your post, that's terrific, use that. The commander can use it as they come in or as they go out. As far as email?
No, as I say, phone numbers, phones and email isn't necessarily a thing, but putting out someone's home address, I think, is
No,
a
because
safety thing, that's all.
People can trace your phone just by,
Let them do something else and someone not ask you.
Joel,
no.
It's okay.
Yeah, and I think the idea of a post office box is great, and that should be used for all post communications.
That's right.
For any officer in the post, that way you don't have the security issues of having to give out a phone, not a phone, an address.
An address.
And I think that it should be the option of anybody who would have an address put in a paper that they can opt out of it.
Yeah.
And any organization I've ever belonged to, there's a checkbox. Do you want your address posted, yes or no? And if it's a no, then you don't post an address.
Okay, anybody got any questions? Good idea. Suggestions?
thank you.
Okay.
Anyone that's contributed comments at this meeting, I thank you. They've all been very, very useful, every one of them. Any other new business? Yes, Michelle.
It's not necessarily new business, but just as far as a reminder, Post 4 is the online post, basically. It was chartered at not this past convention, but the convention before. Post 4 is basically a national post, which is geared towards the younger veteran set. It has
Veterans 50 years and younger.
right. So the 50 and younger. That's what it's geared for, and it's to. They have different requirements as far as, like, an example. There isn't any. Well, there isn't necessarily physical meetings, but as far as requirements, there isn't. They can do independent fundraising. That's not having to be.
Not going to the post.
No, that's not going to the post, but that's national. What is it?
Standards.
What is it? What am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
National nonprofit.
I'm too old for that
Okay,
post.
no, but they don't have to, like, when we want to make a donation, but it's not to a veteran cause, it's
Oh,
called, what is
They
it?
can, to anything. They can make a donation to anything. They don't have to do matching funds.
Matching funds, that's what I'm thinking of, thank you. Must need some. So the Post 4 isn't bound by having to do matching funds. So it's something that if you're coming across someone, and also you can have a dual membership. So if you're coming across some young people who are saying, I don't know if I want to necessarily get involved, but if you can have them and get in, be a member of your post, but then also have them Nelson Mellitz, we email Nelson Mellitz, and have them put on Post 4 as well. And so Post 4 is starting to try and do a lot of communicating. They have things that they do in New York, and we're trying to, from the Iraq and Afghanistan and Gulf War Committee, trying to get people involved as far as doing things in other states as well. It's very much a work in progress. But anybody in your post who is in the 50 and under set also, or who is of the age to be either a Gulf War veteran or Iraq and Afghanistan veteran, please have them get in touch with me, and I can tell you, I can tell them as far as how they can be involved. We're having with the Gulf War and Iraq and Afghanistan, there are conference calls that are coming up, and a lot of it is brainstorming as far as not only what they want to do, but as far as what they would like to see JWV evolving into. At the National Convention, there is a want as far as to hear what the younger veterans consider younger. This is fun. want and are looking for as far as your organization and JW evolving into. So we have to be able to have them have a place where they can voice that and also be involved with that. People of that age, they like to be involved with things. They don't want to come to something and just say, okay, so this is what we're doing. They like to be involved. So we've got to get, but we have, in order to take in these younger members, we need to be able to say, well, this is what we're doing, and this is what you can be involved with. So that's a little bit as far as post-war and the Gulf War and Iraq and Afghanistan committees.
Thank you.
Michael,
Nelson.
one quick thing. On the website, there is, under membership, the members application and the patron members application. You fill it out, you print it out, you fill it out right on top, but you have to have a signature for both of them, and you have to have a DD 214 for a member.
That's very good. Yes, Jerry?
The situation with that is that people belong to our post and are not veterans.
That's why there's a patron application. And then there are veterans that don't have their DD 214 for whatever reason. But,
They can apply to get one.
They can apply to get one.
They can apply to.
all right. Moving on, and thank you. The next point of business,
There are people you could get them to come in as patrons.
Yes.
That's-
Moving on
Which could
to-
be very good to support our group.
yes, we need patrons also. Moving on, we're talking about our next department meeting. I had selected either April 14th, or April 7th, or April 14th. This is before Passover, which our Passover is Friday, April 19th. So either April 7th or April 14th.
April
The
14th.
7th is our celebration.
Yes.
Yeah,
So if you
mentions-
could avoid that, that would be helpful for us.
How about
All right, let's have April 14th. Everyone in favor of April 14th?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? April 14th will be our next department meeting, and we will hold our elections on that meeting. Rochelle, could we have the closing prayer, please? Would everyone please stand?
Dear Lord, as we conclude our meeting, we ask you to bless us and help us to be gracious in word and deed to others. May it be your will to cause love and harmony, peace and friendship to abide among us. Imbue us in us a reverence for you. Strengthen our impulse to do good. May you give us strength, hope, and vision, and may we all soon be blessed in a world at peace. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Salute the colors. 2. Officer today, would you please close the altar? Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned, but I know we have some food left over there on the table, so help us get rid of it.